All right. So I'm going to record this. This is my interaction with this video. This is something I wanted to bring up before Voice of the People ended tonight, but we're going to go ahead and do it now.
Story. We have the story from the Washington Post. Blue Anon conspiracy theories flood social media after Trump rally shooting. By Taylor Lorenz. The story from yesterday afternoon. Researchers who track online conspiracies say liberals are increasingly vulnerable to and generating QAnon-like bursts of misinformation. Boy, is that an understatement. They've always been, they always do, but thank you, Taylor Lorenz, for writing this story. Of all people, right? Blue Anon. You've got the Washington Post embracing the idea. Let me tell you the reality of what we know. A man climbed on a roof with a clear line of sight to the president. Current frontrunner for the presidency, but not the current president. Shot him. Narrowly missing his brain, but hitting his ear, so Trump was shot in the head. Striking several people behind him, killing a man who saved his family. That happened. There are conspiracies about whether or not this man was allowed to do it. Questions about how he was able to get on the rooftop. None of it seems to make a whole lot of sense. It's possible. A crazy person did a crazy thing. It really is. It's hard to believe, though. It really is hard. I'll tell you what's the stupidest thing, and what is just plainly false, is the conspiracy theory that Donald Trump staged this. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
It is.
But many on the left immediately started posting on X that this was staged. In fact, the word staged was trending just below. I kid you not.
Truth. It happened.
Taylor Lorenz, again, of all people, writes, minutes after Saturday's shooting at the Trump rally in Butler, PA, liberals began flooding social media platforms with conspiracy theories. They claimed the blood on former President Trump's ear was a theatrical gel pack, that the shooting was a false flag, perhaps coordinated by the Secret Service in collaboration with the Trump campaign, that the scene of a bloodied Trump raising his fist under an American flag was staged. Amazing. Quote, when did the Secret Service start allowing the president under duress to tell them to wait, then stand up to be seen by the crowd fist pumping? One user posted. Can you blame me for thinking this is fake? I can. The shooting threw into overdrive a phenomenon dubbed Blue Anon, a play on the right-wing conspiracy theory QAnon. It refers to liberal conspiracy theories. As more Americans lose trust in mainstream institutions and turn to partisan commentators and influencers for information, experts say they are seeing a big uptick in the manufacture and spread of Blue Anon conspiracy theories, a sign that the communal warping of reality is spreading well beyond the right. Well, I'll pause you there, Taylor. It's been this way for a long time. We've all seen it. We all know it. It's only now that after Donald Trump was literally shot in the side of his head and survived, plain for everyone to see, and a man died, several others injured, you don't fake that. They think Trump planned it? He got shot. Oh, it was a gel pack. Then explain the other bullets.
100 fucking percent. You gonna sit there and tell me you want to have that conversation? I hear how it's gonna play out. Yes, because he's a neo-Nazi, white supremacist, asshole. He's Hitler. He would have you killed to push his agenda. Charlottesville is what woke me the fuck up. I watched it live. I watched him say twice live, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis or white supremacists because they should be condemned totally, because I ate it up too. You're gonna sit there and fucking tell me that I watched that fucking live, replayed it, watched it again, and the next fucking day, neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and he condemns, he's everything. He does this. Like, they still push this. Jesus Christ, you have Garcia on the fucking House floor saying, hey, Trump made a joke about putting alligators in the fucking Rio Grande to keep illegals out. He was talking about putting fucking bombs and everything in there. This is a deranged fucking man. We all knew it was a joke from the beginning. Yet he wasted thousands upon thousands of your little tax dollars, ladies and gentlemen, because that ain't shit for his budget. He wasted thousands upon thousands of fucking dollars to get a fucking photo printed so he could sit it up in these committee hearings and say, this is what Donald Trump said. I'm an immigrant. Orange man bad. I mean, this is the same son of a bitch that stood there and fucking told you that if you want to solve the problem with the cartels fucking killing people at the southwest border, take away American guns because the cartels are walking in to your local gun shops and buying belt-fed machine guns and rocket launchers. Let's stop playing games. You want that clip? I can bring everything to you live.
There are people who are there who are posting, they filmed what happened. Certainly, I think the idea that just a man climbed onto a building with no security around and it certainly is fishy. That I agree with. But that Trump was in on it is the stupidest thing ever. She goes on to write, the shooting through into overdrive blew on. The good versus evil paradigm of QAnon has really taken hold of the anti-Trump movement, and you're seeing two sides that feel like they are fighting a battle between good and evil, said Mike Rothschild, author of The Storm is Upon Us, How QAnon Became a Movement, Cult, and Conspiracy Theory of Everything. It's coming from major leftist and liberal resistance influencers who believe that Trump is so devious that he'd fake his own assassination attempt in order to help his campaign. That theory was boosted by at least one influential Democrat, Dimitri Melhorn, a political advisor to Democratic donor Reid Hoffman, encouraged supporters in an email late Saturday to consider the possibility, quote, possibility which feels horrific and alien and absurd in America, but is quite common globally, that this shooting was encouraged and maybe even staged so Trump could get the photos and benefit from the backlash.
How is that any different from what they said Alex Jones is guilty with Sandy Hook, where a court, and I get you, there is a cap limit, fuck off. A court said you must pay $1.2 fucking billion, more than the GDP of most fucking countries, $1.2 billion to the victims that you said was staged. It's the same fucking shit. Sandy Hook? Oh, those children were murdered? You say the parents were involved in that? That they set it up, that they allowed their children to fucking die for the federal government to set up a false flag? $1.2 billion fucking judgment against you? Yet the president of the front runner for the president of the United States of America takes a bullet millimeters from fucking ending him. And it's staged. I mean, you can't fucking write this shit anymore. Like, this is fucking Shakespearean shit right here going on in our fucking federal government. And mind you, ladies and gentlemen, this is the same fucking dinosaur of a woman. Womb dried the fuck up. Thinks everybody needs to stay away from her. Still literally in 2020 fucking 4 wears a goddamn mask tailored to Ren's, you 180 fucking year old witch hag. You started this shit. You helped push this shit. And because of the backlash of everything you were fucking lying about, doxing Chayaricek, literally trying to say I reached out to a son of a bitch, but I used an email I knew he would never fucking reach. All that shit, everything you did in the fucking background to make it look like these people were the evilest among us. You write this now? You want to talk about a fucking grift? Taylor Lorenz smells blood in the fucking water. She's a shark. She smells blood in the fucking water. It is now more popular to go with Trump on this QAnon, Blueanon shit you've been pushing this entire goddamn time. It is now more advantageous for her to jump on the fucking Trump train. And she's trying to sneak the fuck into the back door.
He added, not one newspaper or opinion leader in America is willing to openly consider the possibility that Trump and Putin staged this on purpose. Ask the question, people. Putin? Holy crap, man. Holy crap. On Sunday, Melhorn apologized, saying he now regrets the email and that he drafted and sent it without consulting team members or allies. In a text to the Washington Post, Melhorn wrote, we must unite in condemnation of such violence in every instance without reservation. Any other topic is a distraction. No, come on. You're going to say, but Tim, you entertained a conspiracy theory that there was some official capacity here. Well, hold on. Me saying that I think like someone working security left their post and wanted this to happen at minimum is a far cry from saying Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump staged him getting shot in the ear and killing, and literally they killed, like, no, sorry, that's ridiculous.
He's right. He's 100% right. To sit there and think that Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump staged an assassination attempt, which they fucking knew would end the life of some poor soul for political points. You're talking about Biden level fucking events. I mean, everybody that has spoken out about Biden, where are they now? Oh, 2 whistleblowers were arrested. The GOP brought them in. They had testified. And all of a sudden, they were arrested for being a Russian spy and a Chinese spy. A Chinese spy. Wait a minute. Eric fucking Swalwell was banging a Chinese goddamn spy. Nancy Pelosi let her go in the middle of the fucking night on a commercial flight back to China. 5 years later, it comes up because Swalwell's running for presidency of the United States of America. 6 years later, before everybody really understands that this motherfucker was banging a Chinese spy. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, he was passing her the fuck around between 5 other Democratic officials and 2 Midwestern fucking mayors. Count that, 2 Midwestern unnamed fucking mayors. I want the goddamn names, you treasonous sons of bitches. 2 Midwestern unnamed mayors. This bitch was allowed to leave on a commercial flight back to China being a known Chinese spy. Nancy Pelosi knew. Eric Swalwell knew. The highest levels of our fucking government knew. And you're going to tell me you let that bitch go on a fucking flight after 9/11? You let a Chinese spy go on a commercial flight back to China. I'm sorry, suck what? Now what happened with that, ladies and gentlemen? Fast forward to the Chinese spy fucker being found out. Wasn't there a plane that they told you about for a few days that went down in China? It was suspicious as hell because it was just flying along, just not doing its own thing, and just dropped from the sky. Picked up a little bit and then dropped. All 127 people on board, including the pilot, dead. Nobody knows what happened. Well, I'm here to tell you what happened. Through the reporting and the black box or the black box fucking recordings, they can 100% confirm that plane was intentionally downed. The only person that I have ever seen in any reporting so far, and I would love for anybody to give me anything more because I do want to learn more about it. The only thing I can find is Fang Fang body's still missing. A little interesting, isn't it? But let's continue.
I'm saying that I don't think it is so easy for a random guy to put up a ladder, climb a building, bear crawl to the front while people are screaming a warning, and then get direct line of sight to the president without someone in an official capacity walking away or wanting something like that to happen. And I'm not saying it literally did happen. I am just saying ask questions. But my questions are not about a top-down. I don't believe that the highest levels of the FBI organized this. I don't believe that the Democrat Uniparty was organizing any of this stuff. I'm saying that it could just be as simple as one crazy person thinking, they got to do this, right? But I do think there is a simple answer. Law enforcement encountered the guy on a rooftop. This has been reported, and he ran away. It doesn't explain a lot. And I find it hard to believe that every single security apparatus failed on this day. I really do. I just don't think that's logical. But I certainly don't think that Biden or Putin or Hillary or anybody I just, everybody wants to believe that, right? Possible. Like, is there a possibility of Putin and Trump? Sure. It's just stupid to entertain that stuff. Like, I think that we start from the simplest explanations. We try to form a hypothesis, and that is, I don't think the simple solution is a crazy guy just was able to get in a building because there is a major security failure here. I don't think it's so simple to say that security failed in every possible way here because it's too many coincidences. Every different layer of security breaking makes no sense. But the simplest starting point is that someone in an official capacity didn't assign someone properly, knew they were leaving holes, things like that.
I'm going to bring myself up again. Tim, knew they were leaving holes? You're going to tell me that in the building 130 meters away that you're not going to stage somebody up on a roof with almost 180-degree field of view, unobstructed, except for 2 trees, which you could post yourself up to be obstructed on either side and still see the target. You're missing that point, brother. You're missing that. Not to mention the crowd for minutes on end was saying there's a shooter on the fucking roof. And they were just like, you can't sit there and tell me that this is not a fucking thing. I understand. Pull yourself off that fucking fence. There is no way in hell this fucking happened. Not with it being planned, not without it being planned.
Which still requires a crazy person to do a crazy thing. But again, man, I don't know. We'll read more. She writes, well, Blue Anon claims bear no resemblance to the most lurid elements of QAnon, which involve false allegations of Satan worship and pedophilia among liberal elites. You're going to have to elaborate on that one because those things do happen, but I'm wondering if what you're allowed to say some of them are false. I'm not going to falter for that. But the question is, please elaborate because some of it is true. You know, like Epstein is literally like a real thing that happened.
Are you going to deny that? After years, decades of doing it? I mean, that was called out way back in the fucking day. I remember thinking Alex Jones was a fucking nut job for saying that kind of shit. Way before Sandy Hook. Are, are you going to literally sit there and say that didn't happen now? This conspiracy theory shit, it always always tends to be true. It's weird how that happens, but you, Taylor Lorenz, you're all about trying to prove it wrong immediately, right? Instead of doing your job as a supposed investigative journalist, you're out here doxing Chaya Rychek. And you think you're on the good side of history? It's amazing how you fucking walk lockstep with the Nazi goddamn party.
Y'all can't come out and scream Trump was cavorting with Epstein and then claim the Epstein thing's not real. They're going to say they do echo the QAnon theory that a secret deep state cabal is working to take down Trump. In Blue Anon world, shadowy forces, including the mainstream media, are working to destroy President Biden's candidacy and usher Trump back into power on November 5th. Carl Folk, a researcher studying authoritarianism and radicalization at Augsburg University in Minneapolis, said this more conspiratorial mindset has become more pronounced in liberal circles over the last 8 months. Initially coined by conservative social media users in 2021 to mock news coverage as overblown, such as investigation into Russia's interference in the 2016 election, the term Blue Anon has since been used by people across the political spectrum to describe particularly outlandish conspiracies and denialism from Biden supporters. The term took on a new meaning and prominence last month.
Like the Burisma shit didn't happen? Like the Hunter Biden laptop story wasn't real? Like the Ashley Biden diary wasn't real? But yet there's no weaponization of the federal government. He's not going after Trump. Y'all are just fucking crazy. You're going to have to reconcile that with me, who hates the motherfucker.
After Biden's disastrous performance during a primetime debate with Trump on CNN sparked a battle over Biden's fitness for office, including calls from many Democrats for the 81-year-old president to step aside. Now, I must stress, my friends, yeah, a lot of the posts now are saying it doesn't matter who the president, who the Democrat nominee is. Trump can't lose. There's a viral TikTok going around where it's this woman doing a bit where she's like, so, Donald Trump survived. And they're like, wow. It's like, and unfortunately, he looked really cool doing it. And then she's like, how does he look? It's like she's playing two roles, right? How do you look cool getting shot at? Well, and then she goes, it's not like he fell to the ground, then stood right back up with blood streaming down his face, raising his fist, screaming, USA, 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 to a crowd of thousands that joined in. Yeah, that's literally what he did. We're going to lose, aren't we? Yeah.
Y'all motherfuckers don't understand how much you just fucked up. There ain't no fucking way. House, Senate, presidency. Because the media, just like Taylor Lorenz, is culpable in treason. Don't get me wrong. Whoever owing allegiance to the United States of America levies war against them. Them being we the people. There ain't no way in hell you can tell me that our founding fucking fathers, the first three words in the Declaration of Independence are we the people, that these motherfuckers meant the federal government. Levies war against them, we the people. Or, keyword being or, which means giving an alternative to, gives aid and comfort to the enemies of the people. It doesn't say people. Enemies of the U.S., which the U.S. is made up of people. Enemies of the United States, within its borders or elsewhere is guilty of treason. I want you to understand. I want you to fucking get it. Taylor Lorenz, the woman that doxed the Libs of TikTok account, pushed the vaccine, pushed all kinds of misinformation. Everything that woman has fucking done on behalf of the Democratic Party as a whole. And I'm not going to lie, a lot of the Republican Party, the government has waged war against the people of the United States of America. And the media give aid and comfort too. This is treason. Prove me wrong.